Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fatso Radio. How you doing? This episode and every episode of Fatso Radio is brought to you by Volpe Martial Arts. Volpe Martial Arts is KW's hottest, newest Kung Fu and Hapkido school, folks. My brother, Sifu Adam Volpe, brings you his lifelong passion, skill, and love of martial arts, love of people, and love of fitness, and love of discipline, and exercise, and all that stuff. Check it out, volpemartialarts.com. Folks, it's August. It's August 20th, midway through the summer, actually closer to the end of the summer. What's going on with you? What's going on with me? I'll give you an update. Some changes. I'm the kind of guy where I need some changes if you can't stay stagnant. If I'm stagnant, question me. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your subscriptions. Don't forget to share the love. I love you all. fatsoradio@gmail.com. Lily, take it away. Fatso Radio.
Fatso, the really good podcast show.
Fatso, our very first podcast show.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Fatso Radio. How you doing? This episode of Fatso Radio and every episode of Fatso Radio is brought to you by Volpe Martial Arts. Volpe Martial Arts is KW's hottest, newest Kung Fu and Hapkido school, folks. My brother, Sifu Adam, brings you his lifelong passion, lifelong experience, and love of the martial arts. Brings it right to you. Check it out, volpemartialarts.com. All right, folks, this is episode number 133. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for the shares still. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for being notified every time you have a new episode, every time I have a new episode for you. And thanks for your continued support. That's the biggest thing I want to say. I mean, ups and downs, right? It's part of the reason. One of the things I want to talk about today is just how crazy life is, how crazy things like our health get in the way, but not only that get in the way, but things to think about and things that complicate life, like our health, but our holidays come up, but not only that, things like the pandemic, things like jobs, things like children, things like real big things in our life, the things that matter the most, your children, your spouse, your job, the house, the car, all these things. So and during the pandemic is no different. This stuff meant even more to me and more to everybody else. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thanks to everybody for listening. And if you have a podcast or if you have something that you're doing and you want to share with me, please do share it with me. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see it. And let's just get into it. Folks, again, a good reminder, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just a guy who's experimenting, read a bunch of stuff, and I'm doing what I can, right? So this episode I want to talk about, first of all, I'm 43. Hey, happy birthday to me. On Wednesday, I turned 43. And I think I've been saying that I've been 43 all year, but I'm officially 43 years old now. Next year, I'll be 44. That's how it works, folks. Last year, I was 42. So what's different than this year? Other than the fact that I'm probably about 20 pounds heavier. That's not something on the wage, and not something I can blame on the age, rather. It's something I can just say, I don't know. It's hard to explain. If you want to know the real reason, it's probably, if I had to kind of analyze it quickly, I haven't really thought of it much, but it's not sticking to my plan for long enough time. That's what it is, right? When my plan worked best for me and when it continues to work best for me, which it does, and it will again, and it's already started to again. But when it has worked well, it's because I've stacked many, many days together, many days, many weeks together. And even I had a couple chances and a couple opportunities, not opportunities, but a couple successful bouts at stacking many successful months together. And that's what you need. I was talking to my mother today about it, my mom is here visiting. I love you, Ma, B. And it was basically the same idea, was that it's not about being perfect. It's not about being every day, never having this stuff again, but it's about having most of your diet, having not the stuff that you want to get rid of, or the stuff that you want to get rid of, keeping that out of your diet most of the time. But also it's about stacking a bunch of those days that are perfect, non-perfect, a bunch of those clean days together, as many as you can stack together, because, or especially if those non-clean days really hurt you. Like I always talk about. So it's just the idea of being on routine and being in creatures of habits, but having momentum and being in momentum and riding that wave. And that is something that is so rewarding to me. Like I said, when I've had the most success, is that 7, 8, 9 months, even 12 months of keeping something together. And that's when you lose 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds, whatever you need to lose. I've seen people lose, or read about people lose 200 pounds, 300 pounds in a matter of a year, or a matter of a year and a half. Whatever your goal is, whatever your end goal is, you can get there. It just, you have to start, right? So what comes with 43? My birthday was on Wednesday. I went for dinner with my dad. It was amazing. It's so great to have my dad down here in Kitchener-Waterloo area. He's 5 minutes away from me, maybe 10 minutes away, but I feel like it's 5 minutes away. I've been so far from him, so far away from him for so long that now it seems so close. I feel like I could just run there. It's amazing, and I love it. We went out for dinner. We enjoyed some cheesecake. Here, talk about indulging, and that's made me a little chubby, folks. 25 pounds, maybe 20 pounds, I think I've gained, but it's okay. Dinner was amazing. It was great to have my dad there. It was great to have my wife there, my kids there. We went out for Red Lobster. Boy, oh boy, I haven't had Red Lobster in years, and I loved it. It was great. Had cheesecake when we came back. My sister Tia Mare, Zia Mare, we call you many things. I love you. When I was a kid, I used to call you Nyanya. I know you don't listen to this podcast, but you should listen to this podcast. I used to call her Nyanya because I couldn't say Mariana, so I used to say Nyanya. Anyway, I love you, Mare. Thanks so much. You make the best everything. Cheesecake, roast. I make roast, and I smoke food, meat and food and everything. I go to your house and you make it 10 times better. So whatever you're doing, it's amazing. I love everything you make. Thank you so much for the strawberry. I believe it was strawberry cheesecake with a special crust, almond crumble crust with graham cracker, just pounds of butter and sugar, and it was delicious. Amazing. Thank you so much, Mayor. And then the day after, my mom came to visit. So yesterday, my mom came to visit. I had my dad here in town. My mom was a couple hours away, 3 hours actually. She drove here for my birthday weekend celebration. Because folks, I don't have just one day on a birthday. If you're like me, you probably have 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. You stretch it out to a week. There's been times where I think my sister-in-law stretches hers out to about a month every year. Now she's not listening to this, but if she is, Nadia, enjoy that month. Enjoy that birthday month. You earned it. I don't know if you earned it, but enjoy it anyway. Love it. My mom's here to visit now, which is great. It's great because, well, I mean, it's great because she's my mom. I'm a mama's boy. I'm a daddy's boy. I'm a sister's boy. I'm a brother's boy. I'm everything, folks. I love my family. I'm so appreciative of what my family has given me, of what they've helped provide me directly, indirectly. Sometimes you don't even know. They don't know. Sometimes you don't know exactly what kind of gift you're getting from your family, and sometimes they don't even know the kind of gift they're giving you until years and years and years later, until perspective, right? Until things change, until you have a different way of looking at it, which is perspective. Folks, what else did I do this week? This week was a comeback. I went back to Kung Fu class, which was great. I didn't take, wow, I can't even remember how many. It's been a few months, folks. I don't want to count, because if I start counting, I'll add them all up and I'll be embarrassed. And well, that's another thing. Being embarrassed or being shy to go back, or having hesitancy to go back. That's a thing. That's a thing. CJ Carey and I talked about. CJ, respect CJ. I love you, CJ. CJ Carey, we were chatting about it, and she's like, "Oh, welcome back. It's great to have you back." And I love seeing Emily. I love seeing everybody at the class, Sienna, Michael, and Sifu, of course. But we had that. She's amazing, and we had this honest conversation, like we always do. It's like, hey, it's tough. It's tough being away. We want to come back, but it's tough coming back when you've been away as well, because it's weird, and then it's tough because it's tough. You know what I mean? Like you feel there's an obligation. You feel like, man, I need to go back to class, and then your body's telling you, man, you need to go back to class. But for me, my first instinct or my first feeling is not my body's telling me I need to go back to class. Not because that's not the first thing I need, or it's not because that's the most important thing I need. That may be actually the most important thing for me, but it's not how it registers in my mind, because over the years, that's not how I communicated with my body. So for me, the first thing usually is, oh man, I haven't been there in a long time. I kind of feel guilty. It's weird, not guilty, but it's like, oh, I see if who's going to wonder where I am, or and then if I, and it's so funny because it's like, well, I can tell them that I didn't go. I can tell them I have to work or whatever. And but if I didn't work, if I had no other reason to go and I was lazy, it's even though I may be 43 years old, even though you mean my brother or not a brother, or whatever, he's my stranger, it doesn't matter who it is. I don't have to answer to anybody, right? But it's because it's a part of me, right? When I think, when you interact with people, it's often been said that you reflect back more of you than more of the other person. Oftentimes the other person, how they act, it's more about how they're acting than how you're acting, right? So anyway, there's an honest conversation with CJ, and I see CJ because CJ is a brown sash in Kung Fu. Female brown sash has the title CJ. Si Hing is, I hope I'm saying this right. Si Hing is a brown sash in a male brown sash, CJ, and Si Hing. I think it means big sister, big brother, and vice versa. But anyway, we had this chat, and it's like, it's hard. It's hard to come back, and then you're hesitant to come back because if it's been a long time, your abilities are rusty. If it's been a long time and your abilities are a little bit rusty, even before that, you may feel like you're not up to par, up to speed. Well, both. You may not feel like you're up to par physically, so you can't do what you could do normally, or what you should be able to do, or what you wanted to do, or what you ought to be able to do. But also not up to speed, literally not as fast. If you've gained some weight, that's a tough thing. Everything from your pants might not fit as well. Your belt, when you tie it, might be tighter. Maybe those belt flaps might be shorter. The end of your sash may be shorter when you tighten it because you've gained a little bit of weight. You've gained some weight, or you put on a couple pounds or inches around the waist, or whether you're just weird state, whatever a case may be. These are all things that add up, right? And you're putting that shirt on, you're getting ready, and you go. And I didn't say all this to her, obviously, but I think she got the idea because we've chatted in the past. But it's hard. It's hard being away. First of all, it's hard when you're in a routine of going for a long time, and you miss a class. That's hard. So it's a weird spectrum. And folks, again, this is proof that I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert. This is just how I perceive it. This is my truth, my raw, honest, this is me, right? So anyway, you go from one perspective, or from one end of the spectrum rather, where you go, you're in a routine, whether it's, twice a week, 3 times a week, and whatever it is, if it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when you miss that first day, oftentimes it's like, oh my God, or that first sequence in that rotation, right? That first event in that 3-day, or every third day, or every second day, you're like, oh man, I missed once this week. Okay, I don't want to do that, right? Then if you miss a couple days, you're like, oh my God, I've missed it. And then something happens along the way, because 2 comes into 3, comes into 4, and whether you're busy or whether something happens, it can very easily go into 2 or 3 months. And that's the kind of thing that I've experienced. And when that happens, and I'm not laying blame on anybody, except whether it's myself or whether it's a timing, or it's definitely myself. When I was available to go and I didn't go, that's up to me, right? Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was mentally tired. Maybe I was emotionally tired. And granted, that being said, even though I know that, and even though I'll be the first one to say, I feel better in all those areas after I train, I feel better in my mental health. I feel better in my physical health. I feel better. Stress levels are down. Mental clarity, I feel actually, it helps my diet as well, because it propels me, it motivates me to keep on going. Even though all of that is true, after I train, oftentimes the image of that isn't powerful enough sometimes to get me to go. But it all depends. It all depends on where I am, on when was the last time I went, or what was the frequency of, how often I went regularly before I took this little break. So, and for me, like I said, I'm changing a little bit as I get older. As things go, as I get older, I'm changing to the idea where I'm recognizing the benefit of exercise for me. I'm exercising not only the benefit for me, I'm recognizing the necessity of it is in my life. And as I'm doing that, it's a good it's a good compass for me, I'm finding, because it's not very often that I can't tell you the last time I felt sad and depressed and not optimistic when my diet was on point and my exercise was on point, or my fitness, my martial arts, was regular and my diet was regular, everything else just kind of goes together. Now that's not to say that you can't have trauma in your life and stress and everything. That happens. I've been laid off. People have been sick. Things have happened. My daughter's been born. There've been craziness going on, right? So all these things, but it's my diet and my fitness that go hand in hand. And my diet is the first thing, diet, fitness, and then everything else comes with it. So just to be honest, I guess with you guys, right? It's I need goals. I need to challenge myself. I need to do this check. Again, I've said this before, and if I haven't said this before, if you haven't seen the episode where I did say this, let me say this. This is as much as just a weekly therapy than it is any sort of entertainment for you. I hope I do make you laugh sometimes. I do also hope that I inform you. I hope I educate you sometimes. I hope I inspire you to do this and to just talk to your neighbor and to do whatever, and to get out and vote and to do all the stuff, social responsibility stuff as well. But also this just kind of, oftentimes I come out here and I'm like, okay, Carlo, it's time to talk to yourself. What the hell are you doing? What was last week like? What was this week like? What are you going to do next week? What are my goals like? And I need goals. I'm the kind of guy, and I think a lot of us are like that. And if you are, listen up, because I'm a kind of guy where I need to have constant goals. I need to have these constant checks. There was months and months where I didn't do my push-ups, I didn't do my crunches, and didn't do my squats. That alone is not a big deal because I could have done anything. I was walking 15 kilometers a day. Sometimes I wasn't, but I would work a week and not work a week. So, but the idea that something consistent, something, and I'm doing that, something consistent every single morning, a couple of things consistent, but I'm also reintroducing, and I want to reintroduce the idea of more challenges and more, just trying new things, right? I was, on a bike, I was on a scooter. I went on my daughter's scooter the other day for the first time. It was kind of crazy. I want to get into skateboarding. I'm actually I'm really leaning between, or I'm contemplating rather between skateboarding and maybe like rollerblading. I don't even know how to skate. I'm such a terrible Canadian. I'm sorry. But maybe rollerblading. And then if I get into rollerblading, maybe I'll like that. Maybe I can get into skating as well in the winter time. I feel like I should be able to skate. Tell me, all my friends, all four of you that listen from high school and know me from elementary school, you know me. If you know Carlo Volpe, hey everybody, by the way, it's Carlo Volpe. If you've known me for a long time, you know that I don't skate. I don't rollerblade. I was water boy on the hockey team, senior boys hockey team, senior men's, we call them. Anyway, senior men's hockey team. And I was water boy because I don't play hockey. I played football. I played basketball a little bit, and I wish I played hockey. Let's see. If you're listening, all for 3 or 4 of you from high school, and you have some tips, hey boys, girls, anybody who played. I played with a lot of guys and gals at hockey. I grew up with a lot of guys and gals that play hockey up north. You guys have some tips for me. How can I learn how to play? How can I learn how to roller skate or rollerblade? Roller skate, sure, rollerblade, or skate in the winter. Some tips. I need hacks, folks. I lost a bunch of weight, not from doing it the hard way. Well, maybe some people say it the hard way, but I did it. I feel like I needed a hack or something that works for you. Let me know. How do you get around sore feet? How do you get around from just being a wussy? Because I have wussy feet sometimes. I don't know, folks. Let me know. But that's my goal. I want to learn how to do that. I think it's going to be probably inline skating. It seems more practical. It seems more, although you can skateboard anywhere too. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe inline skating. We'll see. I think maybe it's probably safer. Probably my age versus break bone ability. But just saying that, jeepers. Just saying that makes me feel defiant and rebellious. And I'm going to say, wow, if it's supposed to be dangerous, I want to do it anyway. Anyway, we'll see how this goes with the inline skates, with the rollerblades, inline skates. I'm saying these things interchangeably. I hope they are. But yeah, like I want to get back to Kung Fu again. I'm going to go back. I am back to Kung Fu already. There's made some curriculum changes, which is great. Time for me to get my rust off. I got back to class this Thursday, which was awesome. Thank you so much, Sifu. Sifu Adam, my brother. Adam, I love you, brother. Thank you. It was a great class. Thank you, CJ Carey. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, all the students in the class. It was awesome. We did some self-defense, worked on our wrist techniques, great refresher. And it's nice. I liked being thrown. I didn't get thrown really, but I like some soft takedowns. I like that. It kind of brings me back into the swing of things, because I like it. I like the physicalness of Hapkido. I like the self-defense, and I like what Volpe martial arts does. So check out Volpe martial arts, folks. volpemartialarts.com. Folks, that's how I got to talk to you today. A lot of things changing. Of course, things are always trying to change. If I'm telling you I'm going to just keep things going the same, challenge me on it, or be wary, because you don't want to see me there too long. Because if I'm doing something great, that's good. Now, if I want to keep it going, maybe that's great. But after a little while, I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to keep it there, because I know that things, after a while, you kind of build up a natural tolerance to everything, right? So that's why I want to try to change things up. See how it goes. I want to try and bring in a little bit more biking as well when I can, when I remember it. I cleaned out my garage. Oh, one last thing I want to talk to you about, folks. If you have any tips, you have any tricks, you have any design ideas, photos, send them to me. fatsoradio@gmail.com. We are changing, we are changing our garage. Say that all together, folks. We are changing our garage, or converting rather, into a gym, a home gym. We're going to have a squat rack. We're going to have some dumbbells. We're going to have, we're just going to get yoked, folks. We're just going to get swole. And that's another challenge for me. And that I want to legitimately try and lift some weights again, and do it in a way. I want to set it up so I have no excuse. I wanted to set up where I literally will walk outside my house, turn around, walk in here, or we might even put a new door right into my garage through the inside, which we don't have right now. Right now we come outside around the corner, or we just go through the garage door. But I want to have no excuses to say, are you going to go work out today? Yeah, I'm going to go work out today. The push-ups are okay. The squats are okay. The crunches are okay. Great. General fitness, keep you going, wake you up in the morning, whatever. But if I'm going to get some pipes, folks, if I'm going to really challenge myself, and I think if I'm going to really extend not only my life to be 60, 70, 80, 90, whatever, but also to be able to perform at that level, I think I need to kick it up a gear and a notch, kick it up a notch, kick it up a gear, whatever it is, put it in high gear. Because I've been enjoying life in one sense. I've been stressed out in another sense. Not working is stressful, but enjoying life sometimes a little bit too much in my mind. Don't be too critical, but maybe in my mind, it's going off my diet a little bit too much. And I shouldn't even say enjoying life too much, because when I truly enjoy life to the fullest is when I'm actually on my diet and I'm performing the best, and I'm more in harmony with people around me, because I think I'm happier. If I'm happier, the people around me are generally more happier as well. I'm happier to be around. But we'll see how it goes. Dumbbells, squat rack. We're going to see. It's a nice big space in here. I'm going to try and use it as much as I can, and see how it goes. I also have a motorcycle that I got to work on, either fix up and sell it, or I don't want to sell it, or just get it running, and we'll see. Maybe get back on the road. It's been a couple of years. Thanks for listening to Fatso Radio. Thanks for your subscriptions. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for hitting the notification bell so you get notified every Friday when I have a new episode. Thanks for sharing in everybody episode. Thanks for sharing every episode, everybody. And whenever episode you do, thank you. August 20th. Again, my birthday this week. I'm 43. I'm 43 years old. I feel good. Over the last week or so, I haven't felt like a 23-year-old, which I've been probably saying for the last 5 years or so. But definitely over the last couple of years, I felt amazing. I'm going to feel amazing again. I'm already starting to feel amazing again. There's no real reason other than I've eaten food, and I've swayed off at times, and I had a real, I got a real eye opener today and yesterday, this weekend, when I was or a couple of days ago rather, when I was doing Kung Fu, when I stepped on the scale, folks, right? So when you gain weight, you gain weight. There's no, it's hard to look at the scale and go, oh, you can make up any excuse in the world, and I can make up any excuse, good or bad, or whether it's no excuse at all. But the truth of the matter is that I can do something about it, right? Or I can talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it, but I'm also going to do something about it. And I'm going to update you next week on how it's going. So far, it's going okay. I'm going to stay away from the bread, stay away from the junk, stay away from the cheese, stay away from all the stuff added together it's what's worse for me, right? And then when I'm having all that stuff, I even had some alcohol, which doesn't go great for me. Again, alcohol by itself may not be a problem, or a little bit of cheese by itself may not be a problem. A lot of times foods by themselves aren't problems, or foods ingested or taken in while you're in a general state of better health aren't a problem. But when you're sick or when you're already having some intolerances or some maybe a flare up or something, I truly believe that these other assaults that come in, it's easier to get assaulted, and it's by foods and allergens, but oftentimes you get assaulted by things that don't even assault you normally. Something like sometimes coconut oil bothers people, sometimes it doesn't bother people, and I wonder why. It's probably the state of our current health. So that's what I got for you today, folks. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, just some guy, Carlo Volpe. Thanks for listening to Fatso Radio. I love you all. My daughter's gonna say thanks for listening, and my other daughter's gonna sing you out. I love you all. Peace, everybody. Fatso Radio. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Let's say bye to everybody, and we'll say thanks for listening. Say thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Fatso Radio, the really great podcast show.
Fatso Radio, the really great podcast show.
So get your butt and get in your chair.
Don't eat your nails and don't pull your hair.
We'll talk about chicken or talk about steak.
We'll talk about fat, for goodness sake.
Fatso, the really great podcast show.
Fatso, our very first podcast show.